Welcome back to my YouTube channel, everyone, to another thrilling deep dive into the world of rare and valuable coins, where ordinary pieces of change can hide unimaginable fortunes and where a coin that most people would pass over without a second thought could in reality be worth millions. Today's focus is on one of the most astonishing stories of modern numismatics. The 2004 1-cent coin that in rare and spectacular cases has been valued at up to $7 million, a staggering figure. For a coin that cost just a penny to produce, and in this episode we are going to peel back every layer of this mystery, exploring the errors, mistakes, and possibilities that make this humble cent so unbelievably valuable. So welcome back, dear collectors, enthusiasts, and treasure hunters, because if you love the thrill of discovery and the dream of finding life-changing money in your pocket change, this is the story you do not want to miss. The 2004 cent belongs to the long-running Lincoln Memorial Reverse Series and was struck by the billions, but among those endless coins a small handful emerged with extraordinary minting mistakes, and those mistakes are what transformed them from pocket change to treasures worth more than luxury houses, rare cars, or even some small businesses. And understanding why requires us to examine how coins are made and how they sometimes go wrong. The U.S. Mint uses massive presses that strike planchets, which are blank discs of metal, with hardened steel dies engraved with the coin's design, and in theory every coin should be identical, but in practice machines wear down, dies crack, planchets get mismatched, and human oversight allows rare errors to slip through, and these mistakes are what collectors seek, because they combine rarity, beauty, and historical significance, and when those three forces align, the market reacts with sky-high prices. So let us start with the double die errors, perhaps the most famous type of mint mistake. And in 2004 several dramatic double die obverse examples surfaced where the words Liberty and In God We Trust as well as the dates show clear doubling, giving Lincoln's profile a ghostly, doubled appearance that is instantly eye-catching, and while many double dies from other years are already legendary, the 2004 variety is among the rarest. And when preserved in flawless mint state condition these coins have drawn fierce bidding wars, driving values into the millions. Another spectacular error type from 2004 are the off-center strikes, where the design lands partially on the blank leaving part of the planchet empty, and while small shifts are common and relatively affordable, the most dramatic 40% to 80% off-center 2004 cents with the date still intact are breathtakingly scarce, and when such a coin appears in pristine, uncirculated state, its uniqueness fuels insane valuations, sometimes reaching the $1 million mark on its own. But what pushes the $7 million figure are the ultra-rare wrong planchet errors, because in 2004 the mint was producing coins for other countries as well as different U.S. denominations, and every so often a Lincoln cent design was accidentally struck on a dime planchet, a foreign coin blank, or even leftover copper planchets that should not have existed decades after the composition change of 1982. And these anomalies are so dramatic that they feel like miracles. A cent on a dime planchet will be smaller and lighter yet carry the full cent design squeezed awkwardly within the edges, and a cent on a foreign blank may appear with strange coloration or weight differences, and these oddities immediately stand out to trained eyes, sparking frenzied competition among collectors when they surface at auctions. And history shows that the rarest wrong planchet 2004 cents have commanded prices in the multi-million range because they combine the impossible rarity of being struck on the wrong metal with the allure of being a modern coin that survived undetected in circulation. And then we must also talk about die cracks and cuts, the scars left behind when the steel dies themselves fracture under immense pressure, leaving raised ridges or large blobs of metal that obliterate parts of the design. And while minor die cracks are common and not especially valuable, the massive, bold die breaks on some 2004 cents create coins so unique that they become one-of-a-kind collectibles, adding to the range of spectacular varieties from that year. And we cannot forget the broad strikes and multiple strikes, where a coin either expands beyond its normal rim or receives more than one impression from the dies, resulting in bizarre overlapping images or stretched shapes, and when such an error from 2004 combines with uncirculated condition, it too becomes a marvel of minting failure. And what makes 2004 so intriguing is that several categories of errors converged in 1 year, producing a perfect storm of rare varieties. And when one such coin surfaced that combined a wrong planchet strike with a double die and survived in pristine mint state with full luster, it stunned the numismatic world, because collectors realized they were looking at one of the most valuable modern era coins ever, and after furious bidding it reached a jaw-dropping $7 million, shattering expectations and proving that even modern pennies can rival the greatest rarities of earlier centuries, and part of what drives this value is not just rarity but also psychology, because error coins fascinate collectors in a way that regular coins never can. They are tangible proof that even the most advanced minting system is not perfect, and owning such a coin feels like owning a secret that escaped the mint, a forbidden treasure that was never meant to exist, and this allure adds to the frenzy of competition whenever one appears. Now let's also talk about the role of condition and grading, because even the rarest error is worth less if it is heavily circulated, scratched, or corroded, but when a 2004 cent error survives in mint state, graded MS 65 or higher by professional services, its value multiplies many times over, because collectors are not just buying rarity but perfection, and when you add in provenance, the history of where the coin has been and who has owned it, the value grows further, because coins with famous pedigrees carry prestige that collectors are willing to pay extra for, and the 2004 $7 million cent was not only an extraordinary error but also had an auction pedigree that made it even more desirable, and beyond the auction halls this story has ripple effects across the hobby, because every time news spreads of a penny selling for millions, it inspires a new wave of collectors to start searching, checking their change, and learning about errors. And this surge of demand keeps values high and the hobby alive, and it is stories like these that fuel the dream of finding a fortune in everyday life, because imagine the thrill of paying for a coffee with change and realizing later that the penny you almost gave away was worth more than a mansion. That kind of possibility electrifies people and explains why error coins hold such a special place in numismatics, and as we consider the broader landscape of 2004 errors, we see that they include everything from minor varieties worth a few $100s to spectacular showpieces worth millions, but what they all share is the reminder that small details matter, that hidden treasures can lurk in plain sight, and that persistence and knowledge pay off, because those who study errors, learn the signs, and keep searching are the ones who eventually stumble across life-changing finds, and the 2004 cent story proves that the dream is alive even in modern coinage, that not all treasures are old, and that sometimes the most valuable coin of all is one you could find today in your own pocket. So as we close this marathon exploration into the 2004 1 cent worth $7 million because of its incredible errors and mistakes, remember that the magic of coin collecting lies in the intersection of rarity, history, and human curiosity, and this coin embodies all three: a tiny sliver of copper-plated zinc transformed by accident into a priceless masterpiece, and who knows, maybe the next legendary discovery is still out there waiting, in a roll of coins from the bank, in a jar of change on your dresser, or in the palm of your hand right now. So keep your eyes open, keep learning, and keep searching, because the next $7 million cent could be yours.